Hey, look, it's the Kaiju Collector. Yay! Hey everyone, Nate for the Kaiju Collector, and today we will be taking a look at the Bandai Giant Monster Series Gamera from Gamera 3 Revenge of Iris. Now, this isn't the only Gamera figure from Gamera 3 Revenge of Iris. In fact, there is the brand new Gamera from the movie Monster Series. But, is this figure still good 26 years later? Well, let's find out, starting with this figure's tag. Okay, so let's take a look at this figure's tag. Yeah, so the tag here has some damage. It's probably from like a sticker from when the price tag was placed on here. It's really bad looking, and I wish I could find a better copy, but I did get this figure for pretty cheap, so I mean, I wasn't really expecting too much. But anyways, a nice picture of Gamera from Gamera 3, TheKaijuCollector, or Giant Monster Series 01, which I believe there's 3 figures, the Iris figure, Gamera figure, and a Hyperguess figure. A nice picture of Gamera here. It says Guardian Beast Gamera 1999. Opening up the tag here, it's basically like the movie Monster Series tags, where it's basically like a description of the monster and some stats, but it also has the Gamera picture, TheKaijuCollector, and some stuff here. On the back, we have an absolutely fantastic image of Gamera here. It says TheKaijuCollector, Bandai 1999, made in China, Bandai, and the old Daiei sticker, which, like the modern movie Monster Series figures, is indeed a tangible sticker. And that's pretty much it with the tag. Now, since this figure is indeed an older release, we are going to put it in a brand new type of baby penny sleeve, which actually you can see through both sides. Let's put that on. There you go. And of course, we have to put in an extra big fat top loader. There you go, the tag is nice and protected. And now that we're done with that, let's take a look at this figure's articulation. Okay, so the articulation here is pretty interesting. First off, we have a very slight movement at the head here. The arms can go back and forth. They can't go all the way around, but I'm not risking it. And this mainly is a sculpting problem, but also an articulation problem at the same time, is because you can't really put it in a good position, because look at that. See that? That is a really bad design flaw of the figure, which I believe the modern figure actually avoided making the arms movable, because I believe it's probably because of this. But, yeah, it's fine if it moves, but, like, it just looks really bad, especially if you move it here, because, like, it just, why? These legs can move all the way around, there you go. Same with the other leg, there you go. Tail can go all the way around. That is pretty much it with articulation. Unfortunately, since the major design flaw, the figure unfortunately gets an 8 out of 10 for me in terms of articulation, because like this, it looks weird, yeah. And now that we're done with that, let's take a look at this figure's painting and sculpting. Okay, so in terms of the paint, Gamera has around 4 colors: a metallic green, a white, a light green, and a gold. The base color here is a very dark green, which is nice, and we're gonna take a look at how the paint complements the sculpting. And sculpting is mainly comprised of these wrinkle details along with the details on the plastron here. First off, we can see all the nice details around the head with the wrinkling, and we can see a light green for the eyes and a white for the teeth. The teeth are a bit too big, which isn't accurate, but it makes the teeth stand out when you look at it from a distance. Gamera's got some nice detail on his crest here with some nice details around it, and we got Gamera's big eyebrows here. Moving on to Gamera's hands here, they are big, and as you can see here, we get some of that same detail with the claw here, which used to be out here on the elbow, if the camera wants to focus. And yeah, the paint here is a bit too much, but it's fine. As you saw earlier, it is not painted all the way, so that is a bit of an issue. Moving on to Gamera's legs here, we get the wrinkling detail along with some oversprayed toes here. On the bottom of the feet, it says Daiei, something here, it says 1999, Gamera 1999, with some nice details on the feet, wow. It says Bandai 1999, made in China, with some numbers here and some gold paint on the feet. Moving on to Gamera's tail here, we have some nice wrinkling detail and some plating detail, as you can see here, which is probably a remnant from the shell. Next up is the plastron here, which, if you don't know, is the lower part of a turtle's body. As you can see, very, very nice details. we can see this nice circular like detail surrounding each plate here, and the painting, the gold, complements the sculpting really well. As you can see, it enhances every single detail because of how shiny it is, and especially under the light, you can see all the minute details present on the figure. That is until you get to here, where the paint unfortunately stops. And yes, it's still visible, but it just doesn't look the same without the gold here. And now, of course, taking a look at this giant shell, which on the camera, it appears blue. But for some reason, on the shell, when I'm seeing it in person, it's green. So I don't know why it's like that. But speaking of the shell itself, we get some beautiful plating details across it, even in here, and even in between the cracks here. That is something I miss about the old Bandai figures, is that they used to put detail on almost every single part of the figure. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic. This beautiful green or blue, whatever you want to call it, is amazing until it abruptly stops when you get to the tail part here. That is, wow, that is bad. Wow. Oh, it's something I forgot to point out, is that these back claws here are not painted, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm gonna probably have to take off a point for that as well. Okay, so in terms of the paint and detail, Gamera gets a solid 8 out of 10. So mainly it's because of the unpainted toes and the really bad looking cutoff here. It's not the sculpt that's the issue, it's mainly the paint that I have issues with. It's still pretty good. Now, on to size and size comparisons. Okay, so in terms of the height, Gamera is around 5 inches tall when you're counting his crest here. As for size comparisons, here he is compared to Movie Monster Series Godzilla vs. Megaguirus Odaiba Decisive Battle figure, the Bandai Original Jiger figure, the Bandai Movie Monster Series Godzilla 1968, the Godzilla the Art figure, and of course, the Bandai Godzilla Island Monster Series Heisei Era Godzilla figure. Now, if you don't remember, I do actually own a figure from Gamera 1999. That is the Bandai Original Movie Monster Series Hyper Gyaos figure. And while yes, it does look a bit off considering that Hyper Gyaos is bigger and the scale, it is quite accurate because Hyper Gyaos is 85 meters tall, while Gamera here is 80 meters tall. So yeah, it is accurate somewhat. And yeah, that's it. Overall, Gamera is getting a solid 8 out of 10 for his overall score. It's not bad. It is, in fact, a very good release. If you can find him, then go ahead and buy him. I got my figure at the legendary Nakano Broadway in Japan for 1,500 yen, which at the time was around $12. So, I am super lucky to get this figure at a price like that. And even though the tag is somewhat damaged, I am lucky to find this figure with a tag because online, this figure can run for maybe $50-60 plus with the tag. So try and find the cheapest version you can find, and it is absolutely worth it. Anyways, that's it for me, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.